pull the chain and it'll open this gate. Cool, now hold on to the chain and I'll run through the gate. And then it like gets distracted by a bird or something and lets loose the chain and you're just like, shit!
It's me if I was a video game character. Why am I holding this chain? Crunch.
Oh, look, a butterfly! All right, pups. Welcome back to A Boy and His Blob. All right, let's do another challenge level.
If
Why
you
not?
say so.
It's there. It's glowing. It has my attention. So let's do it.
I mean, they did go through all that effort to make it sparkly.
Yes, they did.
Blob!
Huh? The ball can go through there. Will the wind take the ball? Yes.
Kinda.
Okay, cool. Got a hole. So let's drop this one here. What?
The, like, animals just like, I'm gonna play kickball.
This way.
It got real close. It was like, oh, hey. Nice. Okay.
Blob!
Over here.
Hey, little guy.
I mean, I am less intense on Boy now knowing that he's, like, 4.
Yeah. But you still want Blob to cop an attitude when it's
I
like,
do.
Blob, what?
What? Just like the parent that's just had enough.
But, like, what would you do if that was a feature, like, you can only call him so many times, otherwise he cops an attitude?
Oh my god.
Like, that would be frustrating as a gameplay mechanic.
It
as
would.
An aesthetic,
It'd be
like, that's a
funny.
video game. It's called The Last Guardian, and you have this giant creature called the Guardian. And you treat it like a pet. This way. Come on. But, like, if it's skittish or if it's nervous, it will disobey your orders. And, like, some people really like it because, like, it's very immersive. Others downright hate it because it's just like, the bridge. No, don't do that.
No.
And, like, it'll, like, make a leap, but then it will, like, leap backwards, and it's just like, no, the other way. So, like, platforming is apparently, like, hair-rippingly awful.
See, I feel like that'd be one that, like, it's fun to watch.
It's
but, like,
funny to watch, because I've watched other people, like, just get extremely mad at this giant thing, and I'm just like, I ain't never playing this. I don't have the patience for it. Look at me and A Boy and His Blob.
Yeah.
But, like, it's cool how they have the physics of it's just like, oh, you're dirty. Jump in the water, and you'll wash off.
Yeah.
Or, like, hey, there's, like, this giant chain here. Pull the chain, and it'll open this gate. Cool, now hold on to the chain, and I'll run through the gate. And then it, like, gets distracted by a bird or something and lets loose the chain, and you're just like, shit!
It's me if I was a video game character. Why am I holding this chain? Crunch.
Oh, look, a butterfly!
Whoops.
It's like in Young Frankenstein. Grab that candle. Put the candle back!
I both love and hate Young Frankenstein.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
No, I mean, it's just not my favorite Mel Brooks.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Hate's a strong word, so I'm wondering, like, what the
I haven't
pinpoint
seen it
is.
in a long time. Keep that in
Okay.
mind. But just some of the jokes, I'm just like, eh.
Okay. And that's fine. I mean, that's how Ricky Gervais would prefer it instead of, like, jokes, that's offensive. Change it to, I find that offensive. He said, because at the end of the day, it's just your feelings.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because we talk about that all the time. Like, just because I don't think something is funny doesn't mean it's not funny.
Correct.
It's just not funny to me based on my life experiences and things that I deal with. So, like, that doesn't mean it's not funny. It's just not funny to me.
Should we address the elephant in the room? West Philadelphia coming up, not taking a joke well. Everyone's done their take on it, but, like, if anything, I'm not going to make... That's one thing I hate. Everyone's going to make a video on, like, their take, whereas I just splice it into commentary.
I don't know. I just, like, I think just everyone involved was wrong.
Still, I don't
Like-
think you should ever hit someone over a joke. Just
No,
my personal
no,
opinion.
absolutely not.
Period. That's my end of story.
Especially a joke they didn't write, like he was reading off a teleprompter.
I did hear that. I heard someone else wrote that. Could you imagine being that guy? I'd be like, oh, shit.
Be like, oh God, he's out. Like, he moved. He's gone.
One of our producers just left the set.
Yeah. Like, it's never okay to make fun of someone's disability that they can't
But there's also the rumor.
fix or change.
You didn't know?
Yeah. Because it's like, I know that she's, like, been open about it since 2018 on, like, the Red Table, like, her show.
But, like, does that mean everyone
But do
watches
you really
the Red
think
Table?
Chris Rock watches
Yeah, really.
the Red Table Talk? But yeah.
Like, the only thing I took away from the Red Table was the entanglement because it, like, overshadowed everything else.
Even at that, like, we didn't watch it. It's just something that we heard about, actually,
Right,
from watching Mentally
exactly.
Mitch, when we were like, I don't understand any of these jokes.
That's right.
So then trying to, like, look up, like, why all these memes and jokes were happening. But
yeah, for me, like, no matter how sour a joke is, unless they're, like, roasting and, like, keep going at it and keep going at it, then maybe you can punch them or hit them. But then again,
see,
this would be
I
in
don't
a
even think,
casual
yeah,
setting.
I don't even think that's appropriate. If you're that upset by it, leave.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's like a show, either state your piece or leave. But if it's just like in a store and someone just keeps like roasting you,
Yeah.
I might pop them in the lip after a while. Maybe.
See, I don't know. Because
Depends
there's...
how many warning shots I get.
Yeah, because there's one thing of like, hey, don't do that. Hey, I don't think that's funny. You need to stop. Versus just like not saying anything and just like slapping them. Like,
Yeah.
it's just everyone involved was wrong.
Okay. Alrighty then.
And I just like, again, it's like, it went from it's not okay for women to be bald. Because I've heard that argument a lot of like, well, it's just, it's
that's
not okay for
bullshit.
women. Like, it's an empowerment thing now where women are shaving their heads.
That's the thing.
Like, it's a
oh,
style.
For God's sakes. I was in his line of like splash zone, I guess.
But yeah, it's like, it's an empowerment thing where like women are shaving
That's
their
where
heads
I'm
because
even
they're
more
like,
for Chris Rock.
you know, I don't need to
Everyone's
have hair to
bald.
be beautiful. Not to mention, like, I don't particularly like Jada,
I don't like much of any of the Smiths as of late.
but like, there is no denying, like, she is a beautiful woman, even without hair. Like, she rocks the style.
You
So-
can be beautiful on the outside and absolutely
Oh, yeah.
repulsive on the inside.
Absolutely.
So,
But that's what I mean, is people being like, well, you know, she might just not feel beautiful without hair. And I'm like,
oh brother.
there are ways around that. It's not like she doesn't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it's a choice at that point. It's a choice to either have that aesthetic or to raise money and awareness of the condition that you have.
No, that's fair.
You know, instead of Will Smith, you know, punching Chris Rock or slapping him, you know, that could have been like the perfect time to raise awareness for people that suffer with alopecia.
Yeah, that requires some like actual thought process, which he clearly didn't have.
So, I don't know. I just think the whole thing was handled poorly from everyone involved. And
Especially the producers.
yeah, and I'm just honestly real tired of hearing about it.
Alrighty then. Again, I just wanted to mention it and state
Yeah.
like you shouldn't hit someone, and all of a sudden the can of pickles was just open, which I really suck at opening cans of pickles.
I opened that jar of pickles. It's
That's
open.
right.
It's open.
You open this jar of pickles, the metaphorical jar of pickles, and the actual jar of pickles.
I mean,
So
I
check
didn't.
out this puzzle.
You opened this jar of pickles here
I just kind of
'Cause-
like nicked the lid.
because you.
All right,
I
opened
was.
the
I
jar
was.
of pickles,
I was.
and the pickles flew.
The pickles flew.
But check out this puzzle. So I gotta watch which switch he steps on. Ah! And there we go. So it's all about keeping an eye on the blob at the bottom
Oh, okay.
and noticing what switch he steps on operates which of the stalagmites or stalactites. Which one? It doesn't matter. The like stone pillars
Yeah.
in your way. Careful. Ow, shit. Of course. All right, let's try that again.
Come on, Blob. Too far.
Oh boy, a jelly bean! This way, Blob. Because, like, there's another hot topic that I'd like to mention that like everyone's doing a video on, and it's about like the new Zelda being delayed. And like apparently that's worth like everyone doing their own video, even though the video is gonna like end poorly. It's just like let them take their time. It's their project. There's a shit ton of video games to play.
You died.
Yes. Because like all you got to do is like hit them and they explode.
Well, I like. Again, I don't know if it's just because I don't live my life by video games.
Right.
I really, really enjoy Zelda. I like the game that I've played.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to play more.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't necessarily care if a creator's like, hey, we're going to push back the date this is coming out so that we can make it better.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
upset
people
by
are
that.
worried that like they're going because Breath of the Wild was supposed to be a Wii U, but the Wii U flopped, so they said, okay, we'll release it on Wii U and Switch. They're worried they're going to keep delaying it until you have to buy a new console. The reason why I think that's bullshit is because number one, the Switch is still selling like hotcakes still.
Yeah.
They made a statement that said because it's so successful, they're at the halfway point of the Switch's lifestyle. So we
Yeah.
still got 3 or 4 more years. I know eventually they're going to have to make a new console because that's just how technology
Yeah.
works. Because the Switch is a switch between being a home console and a portable, it sacrifices some of that power that
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 has. So if it ever wants to get to the next gen, the next step, it has to release a new console.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if they're going to necessarily do that or if they're just going to do a slightly more powerful Switch. I'm not sure what route they're going to take because
Yeah.
Nintendo loves to innovate. They tried to do like the GameCube and that didn't work, so they went motion controls and they reinvented the wheel. Some people hate the Wii, but like I was very impressed by the Wii.
I like the Wii for certain things. Like, I don't know how I would feel about needing to use it to, like, I want Link to swing a sword and I have to, like, swing the controller. I don't know how I feel about that because I'm a very, like, awkward moving person.
Okay.
So I don't know that I would like that too much.
Okay.
But I do love it. Like, I remember Zumba for Wii. Like, a lot of the fitness, exercise, the sports games. Like, I definitely think motion controls works for that.
Because, like, this is a Wii game, but it's not, like, motion control. It's mostly about, like, pointer to select the... But you could easily do this with standard controls. You don't need motion controls to play this. I'm not flicking the Wiimote to jump.
Yeah.
I'm pressing buttons. And, like, there's some things that I feel that motion controls do flawlessly that regular controls can't, like aiming. Like, in those Zeldas, when you're aiming with a bow, you have a reticle to line up your shots.
Yeah.
Whereas in old games, and even most games nowadays that don't
just-
have
yeah, you
gyro
just
controls, you just kind of, like, have to eye it up with the controls and be like, I think that's my shot.
Yeah.
Like, I go back to the older Zeldas that don't have gyro motion, I'm just like, woof, this aged poorly. How the hell am I supposed to do this?
Yeah. I just, like...
And, like, the Switch still has a couple gyro features. Not full-on motion like the Wii, but, like, it still has a couple features
Right.
that require gyro controls. Like, Paper Mario, when I had to, like... That was an
With the
option, though.
plane, yeah.
Yeah, with the plane and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever complained when something has been pushed back to make it better. Because it happens with books,
Yeah, it happens with books, happens with movies.
with movies a lot. Even whenever like The Witcher was pushed because of injury and COVID and all that jazz, I was kind of like, oh man, like I really want to watch it.
It depends
But-
how many times it's delayed, because there is such a thing as development hell, to where, like, too many cooks in the kitchen,
Yeah.
so much is going wrong, it's just like, either cancel it or release it, because this thing is dead in the water.
Yeah. But I'm thinking like as a consumer. Like as a consumer, I'm
Because,
not
like-
necessarily mad when something gets pushed back.
This is my perspective. There is a game called Final Fantasy 15, and it was first revealed back in, like, 2008, and it was called Final Fantasy Versus 13. And they went through so many rewrites and so many delays and a new director. And the problem is that because it was taking so long and Square was just like, we're losing fucking money, they had to get a new director just to wrap up the game. and they took the rest of the game that was planned and put it into a stand-in movie, a
Yeah.
cartoon, a book. Like, that's the kind of shit that I don't like. Because it's just like, whatever your finished product is, give me the finished story.
Yeah.
Don't be like, oh, pay $20 later for the game that should have been released from the get-go. That's like my big issue with DLC. Now, DLC is fine when it's like Mario Kart, when it's just like, oh, more tracks, more aesthetics. Cool. It's not required.
Yeah.
When the ending to your game is unlocked through paid DLC, after paying an additional $20, that's a problem.
The only time I feel like that would be okay is if it's a cheaper game to start with. Because I know, like, Call of Duty does that. Call of Duty has a short game, and then you, like, pay for more.
Okay.
But the game is still, like, $70 to buy it.
Okay.
So it's like you're buying a smaller game. You're still smacking your head.
I'm distracting him. Hey, look! Over here! The boy smacking his head!
You're gonna kill yourself.
Aha!
But, like, yeah, it's still, like, the same price for a smaller game, and then you have to buy more.
How the f do I do this?
Use your parachute.
I don't have a parachute. They just haven't given me the trampoline and the balloon. Am I supposed to guess?
Blob, what's down
So, like,
there?
the bean was around the middle. What the fuck's he doing way over there? Huh. Well, that's annoying. I'm sorry, finish your thought?
Oh, I was just gonna say, whereas, like, if it was a shorter game with less content and it was, like, $25, and then you pay $20 for more.
No, this is
to where it equals, like, what it would actually
was $50
be.
at launch. Now it's, like, $15 because there's now the Royal Edition, which is the finished thing.
Yeah.
That's $50. But I believe at release it was like $70.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, at release, if it's a smaller game, it should not be the same price as, like, the finished piece. Whereas if you're going to release it in sections with paid downloadable content, then it should be smaller priced up front so that all of it together equals the price of the final game.
Mm-hmm. But, like, that is where I get nervous with, like, delays. I'm just like, are you going to release a finished game? Am I going to have to pay for the additional game? Or are you going to try to be sneaky and put the rest of the story in a fucking book?
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to do? Because I don't know the research, how well that turned out. But if it went well, you can imagine other companies are going to try that shit. And I don't want that normalized. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't watch the stand-in movie to understand the plot of this fucking game. And it's an RPG, so story is very important to me.
Yeah.
If it was like a Mario game, one, a stand-in movie? Okay. But two, it's just like, I'm not there for the story.
Yeah.
But like for Final Fantasy, like your hardest hitting RPG franchise, and like that broke me on Final Fantasy. And Final Fantasy and I have had a very like iffy, rocky relationship, on again, off again.
Yeah.
But that moment broke me. Because I was just like, well, they finally released it. I'll play it. And I'm just like, why am I not following what's going on? What was going on there? And it was just like, oh, that was basically a trailer to the stand-in movie. Didn't you watch it? No, because I bought the game.
Yeah.
So, like, they split it up because development was such hell, they just split it up into a movie, a cartoon, a manga, a book. And that's when the point being that delays bother me. I don't think that's what's happening with Zelda. I really don't. I think what's happening with Zelda is they're having very similar feelings to the last time they had the best-selling Zelda of all time, is they're nervous.
Yeah.
They have to get lightning to strike twice, and they're just like, what do we do that makes it the same but different?
See, I'm wondering, because I don't think that's an issue with this franchise. I really don't, because they know people are going to buy it.
Right.
So I don't think that that's an issue. I think that it's more fundamental than that, where it's like, okay, COVID happened. How many of their employees lost? You know,
that did.
So it's like, I'm sure that there's a lot of restrictions and things going on with their actual production and getting the work done.
Okay.
Just because of like things going on in the world. I don't think that it's necessarily content based.
Okay.
I think that it's like they thought they could get it done by this time, and then
Oh my god.
life happens and they need more time.
Okay. Because, like, my initial worry was they were going to go the Ubisoft and Call of Duty route, where it's just like, oh, a new Zelda every year where it's slightly different.
Yeah.
The painting's different, but it's basically the same. And I'm just like, uh-oh. But it's been like, we're on the 5th year of development, so I'm pretty confident they have, like, enough new here.
Yeah.
But again, nobody knows because Nintendo's been super tight-lipped about it. We don't even know the official title. People are calling it Breath of the Wild 2, but it's called the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even have a title yet. And like on top of that, E3 has been canceled this year, so Nintendo can be as quiet as they want.
Yeah.
Who knows if we're going to get a summer direct. But, again, from my perspective, I'm just like, cool, I got fucking enough to play.
Yeah.
For like my entire collection, let alone just the Switch.
Yeah.
Because we got the new Kirby, we got Ys 9, still have to beat Ys 8. The other Mana games in our collection.
I mean, there's just a lot to play in general, even not on the Switch. Like, you have over 500 games.
Exactly. I have over 500 games.
I mean, I have no room to talk. I have books upon books upon books upon books.
You go through books quicker than I go through games, so I'm just like,
Yeah. Well, it's easier to read a book than to finish a game.
yeah.
Because you get instances like this where it's just like, well, whenever I finish, God in heaven, this is annoying. I just wish they'd give me the fucking parachute. Or at least let me move the camera down all the way so I could see the bottom. Yeah. I don't know how I'm supposed to be doing this. And if I'm overthinking, please, by all means, like, solve this puzzle by watching it, please. Just so I know what I did wrong. Because, like, this part I got memorized. It's like, okay, bounce up here. Alright, distract him. Come on, Blob. Hey, Blob. Blob! I'm here. I can tell you get mad. It's okay. Okay, and now Toro destroys those. And now for the tricky part. Because he goes down there. That's where the bean went, so he should be close to the ledge. Nope. Nope. Ah! Why did he come back? I didn't call him! I looked down and said, alright, here comes the jump, and he was like, his little balloon floated back down, be like, I fucked up. Hey, listen, don't jump. Don't jump! Mistakes were made. But... Ah! Well, since we're repeating this, and I have yet to ask your opinion during this playthrough, what are your thoughts so far on A Boy and His Blob?
I think it's an interesting game. I love the aesthetic. I love the artwork. I really enjoy that you can unlock artwork and like little videos and like the creation of the game. I think that that's really cool. I don't think I want to play it.
You don't want to play it. Okay, what are your reasons?
Just the control aspect and like it's a lot of like platforming dependent on. He's not over there.
I didn't see this. Blob, how the hell did you get over there?
Yeah, it's like a lot of platforming dependence on like
Positioning.
yeah.
God in heaven, couldn't you just give it to me?
And I feel like I would get very very frustrated.
Yeah. I'm calm now because I'm not playing.
Yeah.
But like there are
Oh, I
moments
heard
where
you
I'm just like, ooh. Well, no, this moment was when you were at work.
Okay.
So like this whole time I was just like, son of a bitch. But like the more I'm playing, the more I'm having moments of, aha, I get it. I'm getting it now.
Yeah.
And then I run into a brick wall and I'm just like, nope, still having trouble.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not exactly the most patient person whenever it comes to like the trial and error, where it's like, okay, you have to jump off that cliff to figure out if you need to go down there or not. I don't necessarily like that aspect of games. Like,
Okay.
if there's not a visual, audio, or cue that I can go down there, then I shouldn't go down there.
Okay.
Um,
But where else could you go? So like right here, it's just like, well, I gotta go down. Oh, okay. Too far
well, this
down.
isn't like what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Alright, he went that way. Yes! Okay. I got lucky that time. Oh, please.
Oh,
Sure.
thank God.
Sure, I'll take it.
But yeah, I just think that I would get more frustrated than what would be worth.
Well, another
The
thing
fun.
you mentioned is the delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Instant gratification is rewarding enough to keep you going, whereas delayed gratification, you kind of understand it's just like, well, I don't feel it now,
Yeah.
so I'll just stop and play something that
Yeah.
instantly gratifies me.
Whereas, like, I'm not necessarily against delayed gratification.
I'm not against
But-
it either. I can just definitely see how it could be a hurdle.
Yeah. Because I know for me, I would want to, like, keep going just to see what I got. But then once I get it, I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like, I don't think that I would be able to play this game for long periods of time.
Okay. I mean, I'm the same way. I do, like, little sessions and, like, I'll be honest, I enjoy this game. I like the aesthetic. I even like some of the puzzles. I think they're clever. But of the whole, if I have to record any other game, I'm recording it before this one.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I have confidence that like I have the skills to accomplish it in a timely manner to where it's fun. Whereas this always has moments of just like, ugh.
Yeah.
This shit. Because like this is from the same studio that did Shantae, and I feel this is the better game.
Yeah. I like the gameplay of Shantae, but I like the story and the characters better in this one.
Okay. All right. So in the next part, we'll do more of World 2.
Toodles!